Jonathan Pogash is the cocktail guru, a mixologist and hospitality expert.
See? You know big words. Dude, I'm the cocktail guru. Cheers.
Jeffrey's his dad, a wine and spirits author, historian, and consultant.
Oh, I do my homework.
With decades of experience, they're always looking for the next big thing. Join this father and son duo for a few laughs as they explore the hottest trends in hospitality with the service industry's leading trailblazers and tastemakers. Welcome to the Cocktail Guru Podcast.
Well, Dad, the weather seems to have turned a little bit. At least here, it's like kind of hot outside. I don't know about how it is it's nice and sunny. It's like 80 degrees.
It's sunny, but it's a little on the humid side, but it's nice because there's sun. It's not the torrential tropical downpour that we had yesterday. That was horrific.
I know.
Yeah, and also this morning we had a little earthquake again.
Oh my God!
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
What is going on? What is going on in New Jersey over there?
The weather is changing. The dynamics are changing. We're becoming prehistoric once again.
Uh-oh. No, I don't want to go to prehistoric times.
Well, let's drink up.
There was no well, there might have been sugarcane in prehistoric times. I'm sure there was, but there was no rum. What are you drinking? Oh, are you drinking rum?
I am drinking a rum.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Speaking of sugarcane. Yes, a delicious rum. And I'm drinking in honor of our next guest.
Yes, our next guest we've known for quite a little while. I don't know how long. I guess it's maybe coming up on maybe 10 years, something like that. Our next guest was a participant in some events that we did with the Cocktail Guru years back in New York City. We did this fun chocolate and cocktails pairing event that was open to the public. And this man's lovely brand of rum was a huge supporter and participant.
And it's Gubba Rum.
Gubba Rum. And we're looking forward to learning a little bit more about this young man, because I mean, I've known him, but I don't know that much about him, which is great. We get to ask him some fun questions, some questions that might enlighten and enliven the conversation. So shall we just bring Mr. Steve Gubb, the founder and owner of Gubba Rum, now on the Cocktail Guru podcast. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, gentlemen. How you doing? Jonathan and Jeffrey, nice to be with you. I really appreciate it.
Hello, Steve. Nice to be with you, too. And
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thrilled to be here.
Great.
Steve, we always ask our guests one simple question before we get going. Mr. Steve Gubb, what is your desert island drink?
My desert island drink, I have to say, I really have to say it would be a mojito. I love them.
Oh.
Yes.
I love them.
Yes. Love them. Love them.
Love them. And because I have a coconut rum, they're even better. So there you go.
Oh.
Perfect.
Dad, you are super excited by this answer.
Yes, I am, because I love mojitos and I love rum, and to your very good health, Steve.
Steve, so where did you how did you get into the spirits business? What is your background? I'd love to find out.
I had absolutely zero background in the spirits business or in the liquor business at all. And if I had it all, the truth is, if I had it all to do again, I would probably not have done it, because I really didn't know anything. But an opportunity came along, and my wife and I were in St. Martin in February of 2011, enjoying a very romantic vacation. We went to a lovely French restaurant on the French side of St. Martin, had a great dinner, and for dessert we were given several bottles of local flavored rum. We tried. They just hey, give you the bottles and the glasses, and it's great. We loved it. We took a few bottles home, and when we got back to Boston, I said to my wife, "Gee, why don't we try to import this?" To my incredible surprise and in many ways deep regret, she said yes. And here we are in 2024. I made a deal with the people who made the rum we tasted. But that never came across, because literally they made their product in their backyard, in the dirt, in a grass hut. But it was near the nude beach, so there was a redeeming quality to visiting them.
But it wouldn't have passed FDA.
This man knows whereof he speaks. Yes, that's exactly right. There's no way we were going to be able to import that. And frankly, the product itself, from I'll say from a rum judge point of view, it was really an inferior product. It's 40% sugar syrup, and that's a bulk rum. What they did do that was really cool is one of the members of the family hand painted the rum bottles, and they're gorgeous rum bottles. It's something I would love to do, and I have a way to do it if I can get to the next batch. They had a fun product that they made even more fun. They put little kerchiefs around the top of the bottle where that was corked. It was really cool. It had a great. If you saw it on the shelf, you'd say, "Wow, that's cool. I want a couple of bottles to take back." We were introduced to the owner of Dancing Pines Distillery in Loveland, Colorado. Really nice guy, and he was willing to work with us to develop a product based on the idea of what we had in the Caribbean. And that's how Gubba Rum got off the ground. We chose to infuse with coconut and vanilla because we just thought that those flavors, those infusions would work the best and be the most accepted compared to guava berry and some other things that they did. And I'm still very happy with that choice that we made. The idea of Gubba Rum, that's how we got into it. The whole idea is to make a product that somebody's going to try and somebody's going to say, gee, that really tastes great. Can I have another cocktail? That's the idea. I don't want to, nobody's going to say about Gubba Rum, oh yeah, it's a 500-year tradition from Barbados or Martinique or anything else. That's not my objective. I want to sell rum. I want people to have fun. I want them to enjoy their cocktails. That's what I'm trying to do. Very simple.
Yeah. And so this is like a passion project for you. It's fully funded by you, I assume, as kind of like an entrepreneurial startup.
That's exactly right. The truth is, it took me my entire life to find something that I really love doing. I really love doing this. I've met a ton of people. We've had a lot of fun, but it's not easy work. I just left my Massachusetts distributor warehouse. We talk as we usually do, and we were talking about an event he might be doing in Gainesville, Florida, in the upcoming weeks. And he said, no matter what, marketing is marketing, but the only thing that ever really makes a difference is boots on the ground. I really kind of hate that phrase because I'm not real big on cliches. But the way I built the business was that I personally walked door to door from one establishment to another, having people finding the right guy that could make a decision, having him try the rum, convincing him he could make cocktails with it, and it would make money for him, or doing the same at a liquor store, doing 2 and 3 and 4 tastings on weekends for 12 years now. Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. You got to unless you get lucky or unless you have $1 billion. If I could write $1 billion check to the biggest distributorship in the United States, well, they'll be more than delighted to talk to me. But it's boot. You got to work hard. You got to go boots on the ground, and it's really that simple.
I'm afraid that the romance will get you every time, Steve.
Yes, sir. Where were you 12 years ago when I needed you?
Well, I was just retiring at that point. That's exactly when I retired. Well, so I was thinking of that as you were speaking. 2011.
It's funny because people say, how did you get, Jonathan, as you say, how did you get into this? And my hopefully humorous response to that question is, well, very simply, I had a lifetime of failure behind me. So I was looking at something that I thought may hit. And honest to God, that's the truth. I've done a lot of things. Some have been great. Some have been not so great. When this came along, it looked like a good thing to do. It looked like a good idea. And I certainly wanted to give it a try. I knew nothing about the business. I did have somebody at the time when we first started who I was going to work with, who was the son of a woman I went to high school with. Now, it turned out that, do the math, about 16 months later, probably a year and 4 months, I fired the guy because he turned out to be really no good, really no good. And that almost sank the whole thing because he got lawyers mad at him and he got distributors mad at him and liquor stores mad at him. Everybody was mad at him. Everybody hated the guy. And the distillery was mad at him. And that was really a problem. And I had to stop making phone calls one night at the end of November, trying to salvage the whole thing. Luckily, I did. But that was really a nightmare. But I shouldn't have been naive, but I was. But I trusted somebody who I thought I knew. Where have you heard that story before?
Yeah. Well, a lot of entrepreneurs don't realize the struggle that comes with having your own business. And you mentioned that you had several failures, which I think is important to talk about because obviously we learn from our mistakes, right? So if you're comfortable before starting Gubba Rum, what was a failure or something that might be a learning lesson for someone for the future?
Well, I became a CPA. I worked.
Oh, like my grandfather, my dad's father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I come from a family of CPAs.
Okay. Well, my wife's family is a family of CPAs. Our brother-in-law, her uncle, her father, a couple of her cousins, all CPAs, and all belonged to what was at the time the family accounting firm on Long Island. They were very successful. I didn't go into that firm, even though I was asked if I wanted to, because I thought being the son-in-law of the boss wasn't the position I really wanted to be in. I had worked at the Boston office of a big firm, and the son of the big partner in that firm, it was not an easy spot, just being the son. It's not the easiest thing in the world. You think it might be, but people are a little hesitant to talk to you. They're hesitant to open up to you because you never know what's going to get back to the boss. So it was interesting. Anyway, they were all accountants. And frankly, I was never a particularly great accountant. And I left that after 3 years. I became a controller for a real estate developer. I went into property management. I finally got into development after many years. I tried several things. A couple things did not work. Then we had a successful conversion of a factory building into condominiums. That worked. I had a couple of partners who were great. We did that. I built a single family home. And then, those were the good things, made plenty of money on that. Then I tried something else and lost money on that. So, it's like anything else, goes up, it comes down.
Yeah.
And it depends on how you hit things. I was hurt by the recession in 2008.
Yeah.
That was when real estate kind of crashed, and I kind of crashed with it. So you just got to keep, okay, so what's next? That's all you can say.
Yeah, keep hustling and figuring out what the next thing is.
Yeah.
But that's interesting about, working with family. I obviously work with my family.
Yeah.
I work with Dad. But also the origin story of the sort of CPA family sounds eerily familiar, I think, to our family. And Dad, I don't know if we've ever discussed this, but did Grandpa ever, I assume there was kind of a trajectory of you and your brother, Ken, maybe going into the family business?
That's correct. But like Steve, he became a controller.
Dad, you were the Dad is the anomaly. Dad,
I was not even capable of going into accounting in any way, shape, or form.
He could barely read. He could barely read and write,
or getting a degree in accounting. Yeah,
I was well educated. I could add 2 and 2. I thought that with that background, it would really be helpful in business. It was to a point, but I think the mistake I made was that instead of being the CEO or the COO, the chief operating officer of the business, I was trying to spend, or I did spend too much time with the administrative stuff that I had to get done. Not that it didn't have to get done, but I didn't spend enough time trying to build a business when I was doing property management. And so it didn't grow, it didn't work the way I figured it would.
And one quick question that our producer just put in the chat. I don't know if you know, Steve, and the rest of our audience, we are now on a channel on Comcast in the Big South, where our program is being aired on the Galaxy Global TV network. And it seems, Mr. Steve Gubb, you know someone named Ronnie James, who is also the head of Galaxy Global TV?
I do. In fact, Ronnie connected me with Kerry. And I'm glad he did. I was shocked when Kerry sent the email to me, and she said, "Oh, by the way, did you know Jonathan Pogash?" And I'm going, "Wait a minute! I had to go to Hawaii for somebody to say, do I know Jonathan Pogash? How did that happen?" That was pretty. You just never know. You know, yeah. I think Ann Landers said, "Always wear underwear because you never know what's going to happen and who you're going to meet if you get into a car accident." And she was right. I got to hand it to her. Yeah, Ronnie is in production. I got connected with him. I think it was through Twitter. I forget what he was looking for. This goes back 7 years at least. He was looking for something, and I said, "Oh, that sounds interesting." So I contacted him through Twitter or Facebook, whatever it was, and that's how we got started. We tried to. He was very helpful in trying to get me. Help find distribution for Gubba Rum in Hawaii. So far we've still never been able to do it, although we keep trying. It's kind of a funny market out there.
Yeah, well, I know we don't have a lot of time left, but Steve, could you give us a little rundown on the rums that you do have?
Absolutely, be happy to.
The Gubba Rum portfolio?
Yeah, the extraordinary portfolio. Yeah, and this is all, you can find all this information on the website, gubbarum.com, very simple. We have two types of rum. We have a silver, this is our gold. We have a silver rum that's an infusion of real coconut. We have a gold rum, which is right here. This is an infusion of real vanilla. There's nothing artificial in these. They're made with certified organic ingredients. I can't say they're organic because it's not certified organic. That's another story. Again, certified organic.
The ingredients are.
Yeah, all the ingredients are certified organic ingredients. Right. And I got the bills to prove it if I have to. I wrote those checks. They are both 35% alcohol, 70 proof, and our tagline is, they are wicked smooth. Yes. And what I like to, I have, stand-up signs that say Gubba Rum Wicked Smooth on them, and it says Gubba Rum Wicked Smooth. And people say, "Is that tequila?" And they go, "No, it's see, Gubba Rum." It's wicked smooth. People get a kick out of the tagline at least, and every now and then somebody will say, "Hey, that's a pretty funny name, so that's great." And it says on the back label, "Fun to say, smooth to drink." When we do tasting events, most people think it's terrific. We're working right now with CW Spirits, CWspirits.com out in California. They're having very good luck with Gubba Gold Rum. They don't have the silver right now, but they sell all over the country. I'm going to plug it one more time, if I may. CWspirits.com. Anywhere in the continental 48 states, you can pick up your bottle of Gubba Gold Rum.
Awesome. Well, Steve, this has been a great conversation, and it's been great to see your face and reconnect from the past years. So thank you again for being on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thanks very much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Great to see you, Steve. Thank you.
Take care, Jeffrey. Thank you, Jonathan.
The Cocktail Guru has some very exciting news. We now sell booze. That's right, you can now browse our shop for Cocktail Guru swag and your favorite spirits in the same place. We personally have chosen all of the items in our store. Are you looking for a water bottle with stainless steel straw? We've got it. T-shirts, hoodies, snapback hats. Yup, we've got that. Oh, we've even managed to create a onesie for that little mocktail lover in your family. But wait, there's more. A cocktail shop wouldn't be complete without bar tools, cocktail box kits, and some of your favorite spirits. So head on over to shop.thecocktailguru.com and see what's new. You can use code GURU24 for 10% off your first order of non-alcoholic merchandise at the checkout. That's shop.thecocktailguru.com, 10% off swag with code GURU24. Cheers! You must be 21 years old, purchase alcohol, and restrictions may apply based on your location.
All right. Well, we had a really fun time at Bar Convent Brooklyn, Dad.
We were in the hinterlands of Brooklyn.
I know, and so we decided. And so, in addition to having Steve Gubb on the show, we decided to do a little on the road type of situation. So we're in New York at Bar Convent Brooklyn. We've got this footage that was beautifully edited by our team, and we have some amazing guests as well.
And who do we run into?
So we ran into Tony Abou-Ganim and Dale DeGroff together.
Two of the icons of the spirit and cocktail world.
I know, mixing drinks together, and we were able to interview them. Some other notables, a good friend, H. Joseph Ehrmann, who runs a bar in San Francisco called Elixir and has Fresh Victor, that's his brand. Reza Esmaili, who works for Gallo. We saw Trish Rossiene, who's a member of our team. Of course, Lucinda Sterling. We did a pop-up there at her bar, and Dad, you had some hot dogs.
We did an event at Seabourn, a great event with Lucinda at Seabourn.
And also, we roamed through Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn, and we saw two notable hospitality folks that you were super excited to see, Dad.
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
Yes, Charles Feltman. Charles Feltman, who was the creator of the hot dog.
Oh, the hot dog. And then the other guy,
the Coney Island hot dog.
I forgot his name. The other dude who used to have parties at his mausoleum.
Niblo.
Niblo, before he died, which was really
Billy
cool.
Niblo.
All right, so here we go. Here it is.
I can't believe we are in historic Greenwood Cemetery. This is unbelievable. It was created in 1838, and I'm standing here in front of, well, something very special. This is Charles Feltman's mausoleum, and it is a mausoleum, as you can see. Charles Feltman was the inventor, creator of the hot dog. Yes, and as some of you know, I am a hot dog and champagne fanatic, and I do TikTok videos on the subject of hot dogs and champagne. This is Mecca. This is the man who started it all on Coney Island. He started serving sausages in a bun, called it a hot dog. Actually, the name was changed a little bit at some point because some people didn't like the name hot dog. So they changed. So he started using the term Frankfurter instead of hot dog. Some were offended by the term hot dog. But this is his place of burial. This is where he is resting in peace. And we are forever grateful and indebted to Charles Feltman for his tremendous creation called the hot dog, the all-American hot dog. We're at another mausoleum. This one is Billy Niblo's mausoleum. Niblo was a great restaurateur in New York. He had theaters, he had restaurants, he had Niblo's Garden, which was extremely famous during the 1820s, 1830s, maybe 1840s. And Willie was very interesting. He built this mausoleum before he died. He decided he was going to use it. His interpretation of a mausoleum was a little different from the rest of us. He decided he was going to use this mausoleum to host elaborate parties. Yes, he hosted massive parties. You know, his Broadway shows on Lower Broadway were a little on the risque side. So you can imagine what the parties were like here with alcohol flowing, probably champagne, lots of food, and lots of party girls at the same time. So this was quite a spot, and it's just in front of the Greenwood Cemetery pond, and we're watching a crane flying across the pond. It's called the Vale, but it is a pond, and this was a beautiful backdrop for Billy Niblo's parties. What a guy. I knew about Niblo because of my menu research, which I do quite a bit, and I came across his name many times, but I didn't realize that he was right here in Greenwood Cemetery. Billy, may you rest in peace, and thank you for all the great food and all the extravagant Broadway productions that you have given us. Well, here we are at Seabourn Cocktail Lounge with its proprietress, Ms. Lucinda Sterling. And we're here, what are we doing? Of course, we're eating hot dogs and drinking wonderful cocktails at
Made by you,
Seabourn Cocktail Lounge. The beauty of this particular dog tonight is that we were in Greenwood Cemetery at the mausoleum of Charles Feltman, the creator, the innovator, the founder of the hot dog as we know it today. Charles Feltman created the Coney Island hot dog. That's right, just like that. And this is a Nathan's Coney Island hot dog. Perfect with any cocktail, margarita, Negroni. We're drinking them all tonight. And isn't this luscious, Lucinda? This is great. Thank you very much for hosting us and for making sure that we had great hot dogs. Cheers. Cheers. Santé. Bueno. Boy. Yeah.
Hello, Mr. and Mr. Pogash and the Cocktail Guru audience. My name is Reza Esmaili. We're here at Bar Convent Brooklyn. I have had the pleasure of making some drinks at Cocktail Guru events. Most importantly, I've been bestowed the honor of wearing the apron alongside Mr. Jonathan Pogash himself and other colleagues. And quite frankly, it's a blast. For me to be able to just strap on an apron and bang out some drinks, things a lot of joy. I spent the last 3 years focused solely on the California brandy portfolio within the spirit of Gallo. So although we advocate and try to grow our two brands, Argonaut and Germain Romain California brandy, we're also doing the work to advocate for the category of brandy and increase not just consumer, but the trade awareness of brandy as a category. And hopefully, ultimately, this is a lofty goal, to restore brandy as a preferred drinking spirit in America. I think it's in a land of agave and whiskey, we've forgotten what colonial tavern America, in other words, America's early drinking roots, started with strong beers, imported aged rums, and brandy or cognac brought over from Europe. And so, unfortunately, as a result of two poignant periods in history, both phylloxera and prohibition, brandy and cognac lost favor as it became more difficult to source and more expensive, and a cheaper, faster, easier to grow grains took hold and has never relinquished its control of the American drinking palate. If myself and my colleagues' work over the next several years takes root, with great pride we will help restore brandy and people's awareness of it as a spirit and a pattern. It's made with Cheetos, 1 part, Little Aperitif, 1 part, Cookie, Vermouth Cluedo, 1 part. And we're kind of invading the space of our neighbor over here, compadre. Let's see, the thing you have to remember is when Dale and I first met in 1993 at the Rainbow Room, the first drink that he ever made me was a Negroni, and it was the first time I ever saw the burnt orange twist. And I will steal it. Wow, you got a better memory than me. Tony had arrived in New York to work for Mario Batali at Poe on Cornelius Street. Yep. My best buddy from San Francisco had opened a whole restaurant Oh, all right. Juan Cornelius stayed across for, yes, he was in San Francisco, so they were all together. And but the Nolan was the bartender for that first, I don't know how it all happened, but it's foray into the business by Mario. Good. So we all decided to go across the street. David and his wife and I and my wife to have drinks and Tony. So we get that, and it doesn't have the liquor license. So we go back across the street to David's restaurant. Yet we load the box up with booze, and we bring it back across the street to Poe. But Tony makes his cocktails with David's booze. Yeah. We probably did with Tony's, actually. Yeah, that was kind of, that seems like yesterday. And that was 1993. That was very cool. That was before all this stuff was happening. Dale was really the godfather of the craft cocktail movement. And then this guy named Harry Denton shows up at the Rainbow Room, right? He wants a tour of the whole Rainbow Room. So I take him to the costume department. It was like a movie studio, right? I take him all around. They showing the different bars, the store rooms, everything. I said, why are you so interested? He said, because I'm opening a Rainbow Room on top of the Roosevelt Hotel called the Starlight Room. The Starlight Room. The famous, infamous Starlight Room. They stole Tony from the app, and he opened the Starlight Room and invented the cable car. And invented the cable car and really implemented between Dale Brewing at the Rainbow Room here in New York. Because that was the first time I'd ever actually seen a dedicated cocktail menu with original cocktails on it, as well as classics. So I put a Rainbow Room inspired menu together at the Starlight Room with Harry Denton. Give it out. Yes. Oh, thank you for that. And as the story goes, 3 years later, a gentleman named George Borgoff, who worked with Dale at the Rainbow Room, calls me and says, we had interest in talking to you about a job in Las Vegas brewing cocktails for the Bellagio. And I was like, how the hell did they track down me in San Francisco to go to Las Vegas? This guy worked with George, gave him my name, and changed my name. Just says, Dale, how do we get Dale DeGroff to Las Vegas? I said, you don't. He said, well, then who do we get? I'm still there.
Hi, my name's Jamie Gordon. I have worked in the beautiful hospitality industry for about 100 years, starting in London. Currently in Albuquerque, but most of the time in between that in the beautiful New York City, New York. Today we're here with Tequila Lobos 1707. It is a beautiful tequila. The Hoban here spends 2 months in American oak and is finished in a PX Sherry Solera system. And then it gets a little bit of Reposado added back to it, as the style of Hoban tends to dictate. The Repo, which is Double Gold and Best of Show in San Francisco in 2022, is 7 months in American oak. Sees time in the same Sherry, PX Sherry Solera system. And Jonathan is about to drink some for me, okay? All right, our wolf is going to disgorge a little bit of this. To your health, Mr. Pogash. Thank you for having me.
I am H. Joseph Ehrmann. I'm the Executive Vice President of National Account Sales and Chief Mixology Officer for Fresh Mixer. We make 100% plant-pressed juice-based cocktail mixers, nothing but plant-pressed juice, organic sweeteners, and water. We're meant to be mixed 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 with your favorite spirit. Yeah. That note there is the cat and pomegranate. We've got 9 different flavors. And everything's made in California and available nationally through cold chain distributors like Cisco, US Foods, PFG, as well as direct through wholesale through our website. And then I own Elixir in San Francisco, which I've had for 20 years now as the second oldest saloon in San Francisco and beautiful Old Victorian bar.
Desquite in Colombia means in slang either revenge or a second chance. So if it's negative, it's revenge. If it's positive, it's a second chance. So we have a Desquite Negroni with strawberry, our revenge Negroni, if you will. And then we have a Desquite pineapple sour or a second chance sour, if you will. So which one would you like? The choice is yours. We'll do a Negroni for you, Jonathan.
All right, well, that was great having all those guests in addition to Steve Gubb. So what a fulfilling episode this has been, hasn't it?
It's been incredible, John.
All right.
That walk through Greenwood, one of the best experiences I've had in many years.
Oh, it was great. We got some exercise at the same time. So thanks to everyone. Thanks, Steve. Thanks all the folks at Bar Convent Brooklyn, Lucinda for hosting us at her bar Seabourn. And we'll see you on the next episode. Cheers.
Cheers.
That does it for today's show.
If you enjoy what we do, please rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast.
To watch or listen to today's episode or to see the show notes, visit thecocktailgurupodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, or TikTok.
The Cocktail Guru podcast is produced by First Reel Entertainment and can be seen on EatsDrinksTV.com, Spotify, and Zencaster, or heard on Apple, Google, Amazon, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.